Mr. King, when Donald Trump points to an African American in the crowd and says, "My African American over there," isn't that kind of racist?
You know what? If that's all that to be bothered with racism, I would be smiling at me eating steak and having and the goose would be flying down on Thanksgiving.
Pointing out someone's color, the color of someone's skin?
You're treating effects, not the cause. You must go to the cause. The cause is a corrupt, evil system of white supremacy and control. It is the greatest mindsetter, the greatest behavior, you know what I mean, the greatest attitude, custom. They got the, individually and institutionally, you got to be able to go to the cause. You know what I mean? Because he's trying to talk. Don't forget, he's not a politician. He don't know what to say that's going to make him well good. He just saying what he feels, but he's a good businessman. He's going to pick guys like yourself that knows and that he can do something. He can't do it by himself.
Why do you think it's majority white people that attend his rallies and very few Latinos, African Americans?
You know what? Racism is the thing that you can make people feel that they're inferior. That's what they do to the white woman. That she's frivolous, she can't make a decision, so therefore she is not capable of being a whole human being. But if you keep working, be patient, we're going to get it to you pretty soon. Yet, she gave birth to them. So if she's inferior, you inferior. And the system runs the thing. She's inferior, and she's owned property. So here's how they describe it. You say, I admit, this is the white racist, I admit that the white woman should have, in spite of her frivolity and her not being able to deal with what is real, she should get her rights. And I admit that the slave that we took from Africa in chains and fetters and brought him here against his will, he should have his liberty. But what about the property rights? The master got property rights, he owned them both. And he pays taxes. So at this time, we got to go with the master. We go with the master, and don't worry, lady, we'll get you next time, and you just get back out there in that field with the whip and the lash.
And how's Donald Trump going to help inner cities? He talks about the inner cities, African-American unemployment, especially among the young people, is through the roof.
1968.
No, this is 2016.
Now, you asked me the question, let me answer it. Now, you did your thing. 1968, March the 14th, a man named Martin Luther King Jr., he said that the African-American unemployment is going through the roof. He said it's 8.8. He said, and if you go up, it's going to be 16 to 17%. And if you go to the youth, it's going to be 50 to 60%. 20 days later, they assassinated him. All right? Now, in 2016, in February, the NPA, whatever it is, the law come out. Black American youth, 8.8 unemployment. Black American youth, 16, 17, if you go to the distant, because you got a lot of people that don't feel that they feel it's hopeless to even talk about getting a job. You ain't got those who would go there, the underpaid and the unemployed. So you got to be able to understand what he's got a job on, but that's why he got somebody like me that understands it. I delivered it for Bush. I got the people to give him one chance, and he come out.
What's he going to do for them, though? What's he going to do for them?
Going to give him a better America because we're going to make him do that. You know, that's what you know what?
Any specifics or just make America great?
No. If he give America back to the American people, we're governed by the consent of the governed. We, the people, the power rests and rely in the people. And that's what George Washington said when he came into office. He said the people will always have the power. Somehow or another, the power is begotten into our leaders that we send to Washington to get us the rights that they're out there activating, just like you asked me these questions, and then say, oh, this is great, you got to do it. Now you go to Washington and they give you an envelope, and next thing you know, you go to dinner, and next thing you know, you become a part of the problem that you would sit there to try to recognize, to reconcile. You got to understand, man, it's a very smart system.
I'm hearing no specifics how he's going to give jobs to African Americans.
You know what? By creating American business and entrepreneurship, being able to bring people together to work for the betterment of our country, not for the betterment of other countries. You know what I mean? And still keep the respect and the culture, respect of the other country. Walk in their shoes. Don't try to intimidate. Don't try to buy them and intimidate them and coerce them. Understand, respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
What do you think of comparisons to George Wallace and Donald Trump?
George Wallace, you know what? Go back to your Google. Now you got to find out. George Wallace was what we would call for the South a libertarian, and he was running around saying nice things. We're going to bring the people in, and they said if you don't out-nick them people, you got to be out of your mind. You're going to be able to do this. George Wallace then came up with segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. And then the Lord struck him down, and he got popped in there where he was paralyzed, where it really helps. You know what I mean? And he had to suffer all his life. And at the end, he was coming back appealing to everybody. All the ones that he had hurt, he was making appeals to them to try to justify his inconceivability of doing things wrong. Wrong don't make right. This system makes wrong right. It considers the white woman article of merchandise, enslaved with no privilege, and she's inferior. All right, they consider people of color inferior, you know what I mean, with their own property. So the master owns the property. We got to change the system, man.
I just want to move y'all this way here. The